Should I take this or should I not? I'm gonna remove my retainers. Okay, now that I have removed my retainers, I will be able to talk properly and there should be no hindrance in my speech. So firstly, I would like to say a huge thank you to everyone who subscribed and made me reach to 500 subscribers. I honestly don't know how it happened. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you for sharing it. Thank you for liking it. Thank you for commenting on it. Thank you for everything. So in the first part, I will be telling you about my whole application process, and after that, in the next part, I will be answering your questions which you guys sent me on my Instagram. How I planned. First, I was going to go to US for my masters, but then when I actually sat down and did my research, I didn't find the courses which matched my liking, which matched my interest. So I was like, I'm not going to go for a course which costs like 32 lakhs and which won't be interesting enough for me. So I was like, no, US is not my option anymore. One day I went to a fair when COVID was not a thing, in which universities from many countries used to come and they used to tell about their courses, the fee structure, everything of that sort. There were countries like USA, UK, Australia and Canada. Not gonna lie, I was not planning on UK. I don't know why. I didn't feel like their courses would be good. But my mom was like, let's try at least. Let's at least find out what they have to offer. So there were these stalls in which alag university ke people had come and they told about their university, what courses they had for my field. I came to a realization that these courses are actually interesting. These courses are actually much cheaper than the US ones. So why not apply here? Then I finally decided that I'll be going to UK, but I didn't plan to go to London specifically. I applied to many universities all over UK and I applied to like 6-7 universities. I had made a list of universities on my phone to which I was going to apply. So I'll just put the list here if I find the list. Okay. I don't know why it's funny to me. Okay, I got into 6 universities out of 7. One of the universities didn't accept my application because I didn't provide my portfolio, and since I was not a designing student, I didn't have a portfolio. After comparing all the universities which had selected me, I finally came to a conclusion and selected the University of Westminster, and so far it's been going good. I'm liking the course. Not going to lie, it is kind of tough. It's not tough actually, since I've never experienced this type of teaching and these many assignments and this type of, I don't know how to say guys, I don't know how to talk. I started planning since first year. In first year, I started looking at different universities, different countries. In second year, I started actually researching about the courses, the modules. So the modules are the subjects which the course offers. So I sat down and looked at all the subjects which the course offered, and then I eliminated the ones which I didn't like, and then I finally found the one. My mom used to push me to do things, and that is why I'm here. Otherwise, I would have been back in India, still on my bed, laying and scrolling on Instagram. If you have supportive parents, if your parents are pushing you and making sure you do things on time, that is a blessing. Attend university fairs. I don't know if they do it now because of COVID, but I am pretty sure they must be doing it online. So watch out for those, and also go through an agency, because there are a few things which we as students don't know of while filling the application forms or while collecting documents, and it's okay to ask questions. It's okay to ask doubts to those who have gone abroad and you think they can help you with the information. I understand that everyone is trying to know more about it before actually investing money. Agencies will help you form your profile, form your CV, help you with your SOP, which is like an essay which helps you get into the university. It's like an essay you have to write about yourself. So yeah, do it. And then comes the exams which you have to give. For me, my course is from the arts background. I didn't need any other exam other than IELTS. So IELTS is like an English test which you have to give. After signing up with the agency, they will tell you to give IELTS, and after giving IELTS, you get your scores. For UK, there is one good thing that you get conditional offer letter, which is like, even though you don't have all of your marks while applying, they will tell you, okay, we give you a seat, but we want you to give your mark sheet before actually coming into the university. Did I make sense? I hope I did. When I applied, I had my 4 mark sheets, first to 4th semester, and after that, I received a conditional offer letter in which they wrote, when you actually apply for your visa, you require an unconditional offer letter, and before that you need to complete all the conditions in the offer letters. For me, the condition was only that you need to show your last year's mark sheet and your passing certificate. So that was it, and I got into the university. I paid my deposit, and then my seat was secured. This whole process was easy. It was going smoothly. There were no obstacles, nothing. But then COVID happened, and I was initially going to come here in September 2020, but COVID happened. My finals got delayed, so I couldn't get my mark sheet. So I requested for a deferral. But what about my exam? Till August, Mumbai University left us clueless. We didn't know if our exam's going to happen. We didn't know if we were going to pass this year. Everything was on hold, and I was panicking. I was panicking a lot. I was like, even if exams don't happen, at least give me my results, yaar. Please, I need to go from here. So finally they announced that they will be taking our exams in August. Not in August, actually in September, but they told us in August, I guess, or in September. I don't know when, but they told us that our exams are going to be held in September. So I started studying, blah blah blah. I gave my exams, and after a month in October, I received my results. After receiving my results, I was like, okay, I got my results. I sent the PDF ka screenshot to the university, but they were like, no, we need your actual mark sheet and actual passing certificate. And I was like, I know that my college and Mumbai University will take time to give me those. So what do I do? So I asked my agent, what do I do? And then he told me, you can go to the Mumbai University, you can request them to give your mark sheet because you are planning to go abroad and your deadlines are near, so you need to get those documents ready. So I went to Mumbai University twice. First time the person at Mumbai University told me ki no, you can't get your mark sheet beforehand. I was like, what? How is that possible? Because my agent told me that. Next day I again went there. I was hoping that they would change their answer. I told them, please, I need my mark sheet. He was like, okay, you'll get your mark sheet, but you will need an NOC. So NOC is like a no objection certificate which your college gives you, and you submit it at Mumbai University, and then Mumbai University will give you a mark sheet and passing certificate. So this whole process, I remember going back and forth to college, then home, then from home to university. And then one day we went to the university was closed. So it was not an easy procedure, but eventually I got my mark sheet, I got my passing certificate. So the whole procedure was super hectic and super annoying. And I remember those days, it was super sunny in Mumbai, and I used to go with my sister, and even after a point, even she was tired coming with me to university and to college. So after I got everything, I applied for my unconditional offer letter. After I got my unconditional offer letter, I applied for CAS. Okay, so make sure you ask your agent everything and keep annoying him till he tells you what you have to do, because I missed out on that. I felt like I was bothering him too much. That's why I didn't ask him enough, because I'll tell you what happened. You need to get your TB test ka report before you apply for your visa. I thought that you need your TB test ka report for your flight ticket. I didn't know you needed that for visa. My parents yelled at me for not asking my agent enough questions. I learned my lesson on the very last day. So I went with my dad, got my TB ka thingy done. Thankfully, they gave it to me on that day only. So I applied on the same day. After 5 days, I received my visa. Everything was done. But then a new problem came. The borders were shut. India stopped flights to and from UK. So I couldn't go. I was like, oh, itna magashmari kiya, itna sab kuch kiya, but now I can't go only. I remember I was crying one day because I got my COVID test done, and I was like, yay, I'm finally going. I even got my COVID test done because COVID test is mandatory now before you come to UK. So I got that done. I was like, yay, finally. But then a few hours later, I got a call that my flight got cancelled. I remember that day very clearly. I cried for an hour and I was very sad. Even at the very last stage, God was testing my patience. But I was like, okay, do it. Test me as much as you want to. I will still cry. So I cried. After many cancelled flights and after many rescheduled flights, I finally came here. I don't know for how long I talked, but yeah, that was my journey. Okay, so now I'm going to be answering your questions which you guys sent me on Instagram. So the first question is, which university are you in? I am in the University of Westminster. Next question, how was IELTS? Okay, so IELTS, as I said, it is an English exam. For me, it was easy. Plus it was a bit tricky because there are a few words which you don't understand but you have to figure out during the exam. so it was a bit tricky, but my score was 7 bands on the scale of 9 bands in IELTS, so I guess I did pretty good in IELTS. What are you studying and how long is the course? So I'm doing my master's in marketing communications and it is for 1 year. So total cost, tuition plus accommodation per year. So since my course is of 1 year, the tuition fee is £19,000, but I received a scholarship. Hi guys, it's me editing this video right now, and I just realized that I didn't talk about the living cost like in detail. So I'm just going to talk about it now. I wanted to say that the living cost totally depends on where you live plus what is your standard of living. And for me, the living cost is around 700 to 650 pounds per month. It includes my rent, my food, my travel, and other miscellaneous things like candles for the house. What else do I buy? I buy storage boxes, and then I buy, what else do I buy? Matchsticks for my candles, like random things like that. So it depends on what you decide to spend on. I hope that helps, and keep watching. Someone asked me, did you take a loan? No, I didn't. My parents are helping me with the tuition fee and my living cost. Are you earning or not? No, right now I'm not earning, but I am planning to do a part-time job. I actually am not enjoying taking money from my parents. I don't know why. And whenever I spend on unnecessary things, which I try not to, I feel like they didn't sign up for this. They are happy to support me financially, but I don't feel like I should be taking their money. So I'm looking for jobs, but I'm not finding any nearby, but I'm still on the hunt to find part-time jobs. Someone asked me, how old am I? I am 21 years old. Do you plan to stay? Yes, I do plan to stay for now, but I don't know, my answer might change after a few years. I might want to come back home. Dexy is someone who I miss a lot and I wish I could have him here. I will obviously come to India after my course to visit my family and my friends and my doggo. Okay, the next question is, how did you figure out the accommodation? So firstly, I was going to go with the student accommodation, but then when I actually found out the rates and the time period for which I was going to stay, it didn't make sense, plus it was super expensive. I looked for houses on these apps called Spare Room, Zoopla, and there is this site called My Rooms. There are apps and websites which help you figure out your accommodation. About the scholarship, so yeah, there were like 2 scholarships which I applied for. The first one, which was for £3,000, and the second one was for £1,000. For the £3,000 scholarship, I was lazy, and that's why I think God punished me and he didn't give me that scholarship, because what I did was I actually wrote my SOP ka content in the scholarship essay, and I think they figured out, they got to know that I'm a lazy person and they didn't give me the scholarship. But for the £1,000 scholarship, I realized my mistake and I wrote a brand new essay for that, and I got the scholarship. I know it's not a lot, but it is something. It's better than nothing. What exams did you give? So I only gave IELTS. I didn't give anything else because I am from arts background, and for arts you don't need any other exam, I guess. So yeah. Okay, so I guess I covered up almost everything. If you still have any other questions, please comment down below or DM me. I will answer. Just don't be creepy. Because for my braces video, in which I did a Q&A and in which I told you to ask me questions, if you still have any more questions besides that video, there were people who were being super creepy in my DMs, and I didn't even feel like opening up the DM and helping them out. Even though I told the things in my video, they still ask the same thing in the comments. Like, why can't you just watch the video? Okay, anyway, thank you so much for watching. I know this was a long video. I split it up in 2 sections, in 2 parts, so that was a bit helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope this video helped you a lot, or even if it helped you a little, I am glad that I got to help you in some way. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye! So I will get done with a good done.